In conjunction with the Britfield players, we the kids are proud to present Britfield and the Lost Crown. This radio show is designed to bring to life a powerful story promoting the themes of family, friendship, and courage. The Britfield radio show is meant to engage and entertain you with an inspiring story while offering a fun family experience. The setting is a special library, special because, well, often the readers are visited by authors from the past. Today, we'll visit with kids from We the Kids who are studying to be journalists, focusing on past history. An author from the past has just joined the group, in fact. Let's listen in to find out who the kids are talking to and what they're talking about. Have fun exploring the world of Britfield and the Lost Crown.
Hello, Alice here, reporting for We the Kids from London. Picture this. You're tucked away in a cozy old library surrounded by towering shelves of well-loved books and the soft glow of flickering candles. It's the perfect spot for a group of curious kids like you to step into the magical world of literature and discover the incredible adventures waiting inside. I'm absolutely chuffed to bits to introduce a very special guest, Chad Stewart, the brilliant author of the Britfield Lost Crown Adventures. His thrilling series is packed with adventure, discovery, and unforgettable journeys that are sure to spark your imagination. A special treat awaits our We the Kids Liberty players. As part of our literary adventure, Mr. Stewart will share his personal experiences, creative insights, and what inspired him to write such amazing stories. So are you ready to meet the author and dive into the enchanting world of books? Let's give a big cheer for Mr. Chad Stewart.
Who do you think we'll see today? I'm not sure, but this has been exciting.
Author Chad Stewart. Let's ask him questions about the story we've been listening to.
Hello, everyone. It's such a pleasure to be here with you today. I'm Chad Stewart, the author of the Britfield and Lost Crown Adventures, a series full of excitement, mystery, and discovery. Writing stories has always been my passion, and I love creating worlds where imaginations can run wild. I'm so thrilled to share my journey with you today, and I can't wait to hear some of your thoughts and questions. Whether you dream of becoming writers yourselves or simply love diving into great books, I'm here to inspire and encourage you. Let's have an amazing adventure together.
I'm Callus. It's such an honor to meet you, Mr. Stewart. We've heard so many amazing things about you. I enjoyed reading your book. I would love to know, do you have any advice for kids like me who dream of writing their own stories?
Yes, I do, actually. That's a great question. The two things I learned as an author is that you write about what you know and you write about what you love. And I was actually a British literature major, European history major in undergraduate college, and went on to live in England off and on for about 2 years. And so Britfield Lost Crown, book 1 of the 7-book series, starts in England. So I really wrote about what I knew and I wrote about what I love.
I'm so excited to meet you too, Mr. Stewart. I'm Sammy. I've been looking forward to this moment. My question is, are you making movies of the whole series?
Thank you, Sammy. That's a great question. We sure are. From day one, it's all been about the movies. I'm a big movie fan ever since I was a child, and actually grew up in the industry, behind the scene and on stage. And so I'm just excited about the first of 7 major motion pictures. We're already in pre-production of the first movie, Britfield and Lost Crown. I just talking with my producer a couple weeks ago and talking with him tomorrow. Hopefully, if everything goes well, we'll be filming in England in summer or fall of next year, and then we'll be releasing globally in November of 2026. And we do anticipate that the first Britfield movie will be one of the highest grossing films in cinematic history.
Hi, Mr. Stewart. My name's Aaliyah. I'm so curious. Do you have a favorite villain or character in the series, and why are they your favorite?
I do, and that's a great question. We introduce my favorite villain, if you will, Sebastian, in book 3, Britfield and the Return of the Prince. And I think why I like him is because he's very sophisticated, debonair, clever, smart, and really the perfect counter to Detective Gowerstone, who we introduce in book 1. And actually, As you'll discover in book 3, Detective Gowerstone and Sebastian had worked together for MI7, which is kind of one of the fun mysteries. And so he's just a very cool villain that I've had fun with, and I bring him back in book 4, Britfield and the Eastern Empire.
I'm Afton, Mr. Stewart. I've always wondered, have you ever had writer's block?
That's a brilliant question, Afton. Yes, but not as often as you would think. I tend to spend a lot of time outlining my stories. In fact, just with book 4, Britfield and the Eastern Empire, I spent 4 months just outlining all 83 scenes or 82 scenes. And basically what that is it's figuring out every single scene from start to end in the book. And sometimes it's just really a couple of lines, but it's a very specific scene that's going to be there and need to be there. So when I do sit down after the 4 or 5 months of outlining everything, I just start writing, and I've already developed so much in my mind. But I do sometimes tend to hit what we call a writer's block. And part of that reason is because the Britfield series is based in current time, and they're as authentic and realistic as possible. We don't use any magic or heightened fantasy or demigods or these other, if you will, devices that most writers do. And so because they're so authentic, I tend to write myself into these corners and figure out how will they get out of here. And so I've had a lot of fun with that.
I'm Mallory, Mr. Stewart. I'd love to hear some behind-the-scenes secrets. Can you share a fascinating story about what it was like creating the series? Maybe a surprising moment or a mishap.
Sure. Yeah, I remember when I was writing book 1, and I think first off, I never anticipated on a 7-book series. I just wanted to write something fun and creative. I wanted to write a type of story that I myself would love reading, and that's what's gone into it. And with book 1, Britfield and the Lost Crown, it literally took me 4 years and 2,500 hours to create it. And I remember I was about halfway through it. I had come into the section of Windsor Castle, which is probably my favorite section in book 1. And there was a main character, Philip, which you probably have already heard about or been introduced to. And at the time, he was just going to be, a friend of Professor Hainsworth, someone that obviously Professor Hainsworth knew and taught at Oxford College. But as I was writing it, I thought, what if Philip is a villain? What if he's a bad guy? And that thought just changed the whole trajectory of that section and changed the whole scope of the next half of the book. And I wasn't expecting that. And I think that's what makes writing fun. You plan as much as you can and you write as much as you can, and you're trying to be as authentic and real to the story and to the characters, but you get those pleasant little surprises along the way. And so that was a major change for me. In fact, I had to pull back and take a couple of weeks as I had to sort of rethink everything now because it was such a major change.
This is so fun, Mr. Stewart. I'm Libby. I'm so curious. I love the book. I read it in one day. Which character in the series do you feel most connected to?
I think my favorite character, at least in book 1 and 2, is Sarah. I've always really connected with her, and she's the funny character. She's got a fiery Scottish temper. She speaks her mind. She doesn't like putting up with things, and yet she's very well educated and very sophisticated, and she's a perfect counterbalance to Tom. I think they work off of each other very well, each other's strengths and weaknesses, and they just get along so well. And so she's definitely my favorite character. I think as I entered into book 3, Britfield and the Return of the Prince, and even book 4, Britfield and the Eastern Empire, Hunter, who I don't want to give too much away, is actually now my favorite character. And sweet Merritt, what do you think?
Hi, Mr. Stewart. This is Merritt. Will Tom find his mom and dad? And will he and Sarah be okay?
Well, Merritt, let's listen to the rest of the story, and you'll find out.
On Fleet Street, Tom, Sarah, and Hainsworth search for somewhere to hide. The city is busy with packed sidewalks and congested traffic. Towering skyscrapers are overhead. Christmas lights hang everywhere. People bustle about, carrying holiday gifts.
How did he know where we were?
Philip must have told them.
That little rat! What about Dr. Beagleswick? Hainsworth sees police cars approaching the college.
He'll be all right, but police are on their way. We should head into the city.
Unaware that Coldwell is close behind, Tom, Sarah, and Hainsworth cross Fleet Street. The dome of St. Paul's Cathedral dominates the skyline.
Where should we hide?
What about in there?
St. Paul's Cathedral? Good idea. Let's hurry while still open.
Tom, Sarah, and Hainsworth run inside the massive structure while attendants clear the remaining visitors. Minutes later, Gowerstone arrives outside and surveys the area. A policeman soon approaches.
Sir, someone saw 2 kids and an older man run inside the cathedral. Should we seal off all the exits?
Yes, I'll take a team inside to search. Anything else?
An attendant said that a man wearing a dark raincoat ran after them.
Arrest him and find out who he is.
Despite the chase, Tom and Sarah tilt their heads, gazing at the shimmering biblical frescoes hundreds of feet above them. Then they notice police entering from different directions.
All the exits are blocked! How do we get out of here?
Through the crypt.
The crypt?
Tom, Sarah, and Hainsworth scurry down a set of stairs and descend into the crypt, a catacomb of alabaster columns and marble caskets. It's chilly, the lighting faint. Eyes widening, Sarah clutches Tom's hand. Policemen's footsteps under overhead, their voices echoing.
I've got an uncomfortable feeling about this.
It's not so bad. If you're dead.
Thanks, you're a real help.
Through here, toward the back exit.
What's that, Professor?
Lord Nelson's tomb, one of Britain's greatest admirals.
Is he still in there?
I hope so.
So there's bodies in all of these coffins?
Yep. At least they're not out of their coffins.
Quietly moving forward, they ascend a narrow set of stairs to a back exit. Hainsworth eases the door open, viewing the deserted churchyard.
It appears safe. Let's head toward those apartment buildings.
As each of them step outside, two policemen hurry over.
Stop right there.
Get Sarah out of here and keep her safe.
But what about...
Run, Tom! Run!
Hainsworth intercepts the two policemen. Grappling with them, Hainsworth is quickly wrestled to the ground and handcuffed. Startled, Tom and Sarah bolt across the street while looking behind them.
We've got to help him!
There's nothing we can do. Let's head back to the Duke's Hotel.
Rounding the corner, Gowerstone sees Tom and Sarah. Gowerstone signals other policemen to follow.
What should we do with the professor?
Take him to New Scotland Yard. I want to interrogate him. What about the children? They can't be far. Continue your search and start checking hotels.
The chase continues as Tom and Sarah eventually make their way back to their hotel, hoping to see Hainsworth, but he's not in his room. Exhausted, they lock their door and soon fall asleep. Early the next morning, Tom and Sarah are dressed and stand by Hainsworth's door.
I hope the professor made it back last night.
Sarah lightly knocks, then opens the door.
He's not in his room.
Gowerstone must still have him.
He'll tell him everything.
The professor would never betray us.
You're right. Where should we go now?
What would the professor want us to do?
Probably continue on.
You mean Canterbury? But aren't you scared?
Of course I am, but we've managed on our own before, and we're still together.
How do we get there?
By train, Waterloo Station. We'll sneak on and avoid the ticket collector by moving from cabin to cabin.
You're as devious as I am.
You've just now noticed?
By late afternoon, Tom and Sarah arrive at Waterloo Station. A large four-sided clock shows 3:30. People rush back and forth as trains arrive and depart. Sarah checks the overhead display for cities and times.
The train to Canterbury is on platform 3, but it's leaving soon. Let's try to catch it.
Tom and Sarah hurry to the train. They enter with a flood of passengers carrying presents, sit in two empty seats, and peer out of a window. A few minutes later, the train leaves.
I hope the professor's okay. I already miss him.
So do I. He's a great friend.
The best of friends.
Glancing around, Sarah notices the wrapped packages.
I almost forgot. It's Christmas Eve.
This will be my first Christmas away from an orphanage. I'm glad to be spending it with you.
Me too.
By 5 p.m., the train arrives at Canterbury Station. Tom and Sarah exit with the other passengers, then walk up Station Street as lampposts flicker on against the dark sky. The town is bustling with holiday activities and Christmas carolers. Viewing the festivities, Tom spies an enormous structure rising above the rooftops. The low sun transforms the cathedral's towers into an angelic glow of pinks and golds, the copper roof gleaming.
That's gotta be Canterbury Cathedral. It's enormous.
Let's hurry. We need to get there before it closes.
Tom and Sarah anxiously run up the hill. Upon entering the cathedral, the interior is cold and empty. Rows of pews line the nave. Candles dance in the breeze. Pillars climb the stone walls, securing the massive arches overhead. A bishop strolls over, hands clasped in front of him.
Good evening. I'm Bishop Carmichael. How can I help you?
We're looking for the Archbishop.
Do you have an appointment?
No, but it's very important. We must see.
I apologize, but he's booked months in advance.
But we need to talk to him now.
That won't be possible. We'll be closing soon to prepare for Christmas Eve service, but you're welcome to look around.
Tell him Dr. Beaglesick sent us.
Wait here.
The bishop leaves. After a few minutes, Tom and Sarah see a shadowy figure emerge. Sarah grabs Tom's hand. Back slightly bent, an elderly man limps forward, dressed in a black robe with a purple sash around his waist. Archbishop Alexander has a peaceful manner, old but wise.
Good evening, sir. I'm Sarah, and this is Tom.
Please, call me Alexander. What can I do for you?
Alexander, we've come to ask you about the Britfields.
Alexander looks around the interior, then motions them down the center aisle.
We need to be careful. Let's sit and speak quietly.
The three of them sit on the front wooden pews.
What makes you believe I can help?
Dr. Beagleswick recommended that we find you.
Yes, a fine professor. What exactly did Dr. Beagleswick tell you?
Everything, except for where they are.
Why does this concern either of you?
I may be their son. Shocked by the revelation, Alexander stares at Tom.
Tell me how you've come to know this.
I believe I was kidnapped as an infant and left in an orphanage, finally ending up at Weatherly. One of the owners said my parents might be alive, and mentioned the name Britfield. After escaping from that horrible place, Sarah and I met Professor Hainsworth at Oxford, who helped us get to London, where we met Dr. Beagleswick.
I'm sorry. You've endured so much. Your story is compelling. You have the Britfield eyes, their fortitude, but I'm no expert. Only they would know.
Then it's true. You knew them.
Yes, I knew the last Britfields. Magnificent people. I was present 10 years ago when their child was taken.
What if Tom is their son?
Well, then it would be an extraordinary miracle and an answer to prayers.
We need to find them.
It's much too dangerous.
We're aware of the risks, but it's worth it to try to find my parents, if they are my parents.
You have a good heart and fortitude, but I won't be responsible for jeopardizing your lives, especially at your age.
We may be young, but we understand the importance of family. Many live a lifetime and never realize that. If my parents are alive, I'd like to find them.
Well spoken, Tom. Would you allow me some time to consider it?
We're kind of in a hurry.
I see. Then grant me a few minutes and wait here.
Okay, Alexander. We'll wait here for your decision.
They stand and the Archbishop leaves. As Tom and Sarah wait, they hear a noise echoing off the walls.
Probably just some visitors. Sure, just some visitors, although the church is closed.
The Archbishop slowly returns and hands Tom a folded paper.
Everything you need is written on this paper. Guard it. Safely.
You have my word.
The Britfields moved to southern France. I can't emphasize enough how dangerous this is, but if there's hope to be given, I will not stand in the way.
Thank you, Alexander, for trusting us.
You can stay here tonight, and I'll arrange your passage in the morning. Wait by the entrance for Bishop Carmichael to escort you to our abbey.
Tom and Sarah hug Alexander and head to the front entrance. The outside wind rustles, the windows rattle. Tom and Sarah hear distant movement again. Tom whips around and notices a shadowy silhouette approaching.
Bishop Carmichael?
As the shadow moves closer, Tom and Sarah see Coldwell's devilish eyes peering down, a menacing grin across his face.
You have caused me nothing but trouble.
What do you want?
To finish what I started.
Reaching into his overcoat, Coldwell removes his pistol and aims it at them.
Why can't you just leave us alone?
Because the monarchy is counting on me. I must do my duty.
Suddenly, Gowerstone rushes from behind and knocks Coldwell over the head. Coldwell tumbles to the ground.
Tom, Sarah, step away from him.
Policemen burst through the front door, handcuff Coldwell, and drag him away. Alexander staggers from his office.
What's going on out here? Please, wait there. Everything is under control.
Seeing their chance to escape, Tom grabs Sarah's hand and they run toward a back entrance. However, Speckle appears at the doorway and grabs Tom and Sarah.
Where do you think you're going?
A policeman marches over and guards Tom and Sarah while Speckle talks with Gowerstone.
Speckle? I can't believe he works with Gowerstone. This can't be happening. Not after everything we've gone through. We'll figure something out. At least we're together. What if they separate us? Then I'll find you. Wherever you are.
Gowerstone and Speckle walk back over to Tom and Sarah.
How did you know we were here?
Dr. Hainsworth informed me this afternoon.
You didn't hurt him, did you?
Of course not. He's outside in one of the police cars. He's under my protection.
Are you sending us back to Weatherly? Back to that miserable place?
You misunderstand me, Tom. I haven't been chasing you through half of England so I can arrest you. Your life is in danger, and I want to help you.
What?
Speckle does work for me, but not in the capacity you believe. He's my best agent, assigned to investigate Weatherly. We were about to arrest Mr. and Mrs. Grievous and shut down the orphanage when you two escaped.
I'm sorry I was so hard on everyone.
You played your role extremely well.
I had to. I couldn't let the Grievuses know who I was.
So you known about Weatherly?
Yes, but it's not just Weatherly. It's a chain of orphanages from Cornwall to Edinburgh, all involved in fraudulent activities. Weatherly is at the center of it.
If you're not setting us back, why not just let us go?
Because when I read Tom's file and saw the name Britfield, his picture, his age, everything became clear to me.
I don't understand.
I was the detective in charge of finding the Britfield's lost son 10 years ago. It was the only case I failed to solve. If you are who I believe you are, then there are others who want to...
We know. Why weren't you able to finish the case?
Every time I got close to solving the kidnapping, someone sabotaged my work. After years of investigation, I was forced by my superiors to let it go. But I never did, and I never forgot. I've been searching for 10 years.
Then you think Tom is the Britfield son?
Yes, I believe he is.
And Tom might be the rightful heir to the British throne?
I'm no historian, but if it's true, Tom is in grave danger, and so are you. After speaking with Dr. Hainsworth, I realized this goes deeper than anyone can imagine. But you two gave me the hardest chase of my career from Yorkshire to Canterbury.
Right. Sorry about that. Thank you for saving us from that killer.
That's my job. You owe me nothing.
Now what?
When speaking with Dr. Beagleswick, who is also under my protection, I learned that the Prime Minister is involved, defending the crown at all costs.
What about my family?
I'll help you find them. Now please, wait here for a moment.
Garrison walks over to Alexander. They shake hands, recognizing each other from a decade earlier. As Garrison explains the situation, Alexander nods and smiles, bidding Tom and Sarah a heartfelt farewell. Shortly after, Hainsworth enters and embraces Tom and Sarah.
It's good you're both safe. I was so worried.
We didn't think we'd ever see you again.
I hope you're not upset that I told Detective Yarrowstone about Canterbury, but after speaking with him, I knew he was on our side and perhaps our best ally.
We understand, Professor. We also have the Britfield's location in France.
Garrison walks back over.
When I was detained in New Scotland Yard, I spoke with Dr. Beagleswick, who informed me that the Prime Minister is working with the royals and a secret group called the Committee.
I should have known the Prime Minister was involved. I allowed friendship to cloud my judgment. I'll have to resign.
Why? The Prime Minister is unaware, you know. Keep it that way. Use their own tactics against them and get to the bottom of this.
What about Tom and Sarah?
England is not safe for them. Tom has the location of the Britfields in France.
I can't let them leave on their own.
You won't have to. I'll go with them and protect them.
It's too dangerous. I cannot allow that.
I can safely get them to France. I have a friend in Paris who can help us. Your work remains in England.
Garrison paces a bit, thinking to himself.
I'll agree under one condition. You meet with Inspector Fontaine when you arrive in France.
Garrison removes 2 cards, then hands one to Tom and one to Hainsworth.
She works with Interpol and is extremely trustworthy. I'll have her wait for you. Do whatever she asks and contact me when you arrive. I want to know everything that happens.
Agreed, Detective.
I also need to speak with Tom and Sarah. I want to hear about their experience at Weatherly and any details that might be useful.
Garrison pulls Tom and Sarah aside with a policeman, who takes detailed notes. Tom and Sarah spent an hour telling Garrison all about their experiences at Weatherly. Their descriptions were vivid, leaving nothing out. It felt good to finally expose the Grievuses.
It's time to leave. You'll take a ferry from Dover to Calais. I'll drive you personally.
Garrison motions Tom, Sarah, and Hainsworth to a car. After arriving at the ferry terminal, everyone exits the vehicle. While Hainsworth leaves to purchase tickets, Tom and Sarah turn to Garrison and shake his hand.
Thank you for helping us.
It was a privilege, but it's not over yet. I fear it's just begun. Remember, stay with Professor Hainsworth. Always be on your guard and trust no one.
Yes, sir. And you'll help the other orphans? I gave them my word.
Yes. Every one of them will be taken care of.
Hainsworth returns with the tickets.
The ferry is leaving from Pier 2. We have 15 minutes.
Be safe and Godspeed.
Tom, Sarah, and Hainsworth enter a large hydrofoil. Travelers hurry on with wrapped gifts. Hainsworth sits on an outside bench. As the boat leaves the harbor, Tom and Sarah watch Garrison disappear in the mist. He gives them one final wave.
It's 12:10 in the morning.
Hainsworth stands and gives them a hug.
Merry Christmas, Tom. Merry Christmas, Sarah. May this be the first of many great ones to come.
Merry Christmas, Professor.
After a moment, Tom and Sarah walk to the back rail and watch Dover fade in the distance.
I've never left England before. I wonder what's going to happen. Don't worry, Tom. It'll all work out.
Tom gently grabs her hand.
I'm not worried. We're together, and that's all that matters.
Shortly after Canterbury, Detective Gowerstone gathered a force of policemen and headed to Weatherly. He arrested Mr. and Mrs. Grievous, who were sentenced to 30 years in prison. Their despicable enterprise was shut down and the orphanage closed forever. After that, Gowerstone worked tirelessly to find each orphan a safe home and loving family.
Patrick was adopted by a couple in France and now works at their automobile factory, test driving cars and living life to its fullest. Richie moved in with a wealthy family in Glasgow and helps run their enormous estate, along with watching over their younger children.
Bertie lives with the couple in Devon and helps design toys for their popular stores along the coast. Trevor was adopted by an American family and is enjoying his days on a sunny beach in Southern California.
Danica and Dalen moved in with an Italian couple who run a fancy bistro in Mayfair. The two girls have become renowned pastry chefs, and the restaurant is one of the hottest places in London. And Dr. Beagleswick retired to an island somewhere in the South Pacific. Exact location unknown. The rest of the orphans found warm homes and caring families.
We all stayed in touch, either by email or phone, and tried to visit each other during school holidays. Everyone was grateful to Tom and Sarah, knowing that they had helped. Although no one knew where they were, a part of them remained, for we would always be connected. We were a family, not by blood or birth, but something even stronger. We shared a special bond that nothing in the world could ever break.
The end!
Thank you for listening to Britfield and the Lost Crown, the perfect holiday gift. Anyone making a donation to We the Kids website will be automatically entered to win a signed copy of the Britfield trilogy. 3 drawings will be held December 15th. Merry Christmas from Britfield and We the Kids. Godspeed, my friends, and have a wonderful holiday.
Hi, everyone. I'm Jack. As Isaiah 9:6 says, "For unto us a child is born, and unto us a son is given, and the government shall be upon his shoulder, and his name shall be called Wonderful Counselor, the Mighty God, Everlasting Father, the Prince of Peace."
Thank you for listening to this wonderful broadcast of Britfield and the Lost Crown. I hope you enjoyed it. It's been so much fun, not only writing, but putting together this entire radio broadcast with so many talented students and children. If you're interested in checking out more, visit We the Kids website and check out the award-winning Britfield Lost Crown website, where we have over 400 pictures of England. Everywhere where Tom and Sarah have visited are on the website. We have interactive maps and all types of other information. Thank you again, and have a blessed holiday and a Merry Christmas.
Hello, Karis here. I'm your We the Kids reporter here in London. We have had an amazing time meeting our authors from the past, haven't we? We've explored the world of literature with Jane Austen, Charles Dickens, C.S. Lewis, and Charlotte Bronte. We've even met some incredible guests along the way. We're so grateful to meet Mr. Stewart, and we can't wait to see what other adventures await us as we continue to read his books. We're so thankful to share our love of literature with you, and we hope you have a wonderful holiday season filled with joy, love, and great books. Don't miss out. See you there, adventurers.
We hope you enjoyed our interpretation of Britfield and the Lost Crown. The podcast for you to share will be available on americaoutloud.news/We the Kids and wethekids.us websites. And also, we have an exciting gift for you. Anyone who makes a donation on our We the Kids website will be entered to win a signed copy of the Welcome to the World of Britfield trilogy series. You can purchase the series at wethekids.us. And please remember to include We the Kids in the memo. To learn more about Britfield Adventures, please visit our website at wethekids.us. Happy holidays from all of us at Britfield Adventures and We the Kids.
It is so easy to let Christmas happen to us, isn't it? I mean, with all the decorations and lights shining, carols playing, sales ads everywhere, let's face it, the Christmas spirit is alive and well, and it just grabs us and carries us along for the ride, maybe even a sleigh ride. The truth is, though, as much fun and excitement as all of those bring, Christmas itself is much more simple than all of that. In fact, the entire Christmas story can be stated in fewer than 20 words. For unto you is born this day in the city of David a Savior, who is Christ the Lord. The presents, the cookies, the family get-togethers are all fine. Sing songs, snap pictures, and share cards. Enjoy Christmas, but never forget this simple truth. There is no true Christmas without the Christ. From all of us at We the Kids, we wish you a very Merry Christmas. Enjoy Christmas. Embrace Christ.